It's winter and cold weather is sweeping across much of the country, but how do frosty mornings and biting wind affect our bodies and health? We all experience cold weather differently. If you are tall, you tend to become cold faster than a shorter person. Taller people have a bigger surface area, meaning heat is lost from the body quicker. Even though people react to cold weather differently, as a species we are extremely adaptable. Actually, it helps us to be compatible, because cold weather also has health benefits. Studies have found that exercising in cold weather can increase your body's energy expenditure even after you've finished your workout. You also burn more calories while exercising in the cold as your body is expending energy to keep warm. Cold temperatures may make you live longer. Scientists at the Scripps Research Institute found that by reducing the average core temperature of mice, their lifespan was extended by 20%. A different study conducted at the Department of Molecular and Integrative Physiology, University of Michigan, looked at the lifespans of worms exposed to cold temperatures. They found that the worms in the study demonstrated a genetic response which triggered a longer lifespan. The genetic pathway identified in the worms as part of this study is also found in people, meaning the same result could apply to humans. However, further studies need to be conducted. But the temperature and cold cause many changes in the body, and we even feel and notice many of them in our daily lives. Whatever the weather outside, or inside for that matter, our bodies fight a constant battle to keep internal conditions pretty much the same. We have a range of reflexes that kick in to keep our core temperature steady at around 37.5 C. This is so that our cells and organs are protected from damage. When we start to get cold, our blood becomes thicker, which can cause clotting. Clotting can cause problems and is one of the reasons we see more heart attacks and strokes in the days following colder weather. Being cold also affects our body's ability to fight off infection. This is why in the weeks after the cold weather we see more deaths from infections like pneumonia, as lung conditions and coughs can develop into a more serious problem. So, although many of us think the health risks of cold are confined to hypothermia, the reality is that many more people will die of heart and lung problems due to cold weather. However, there are also decently known misconceptions about the cold among the public. As we've seen, cold weather can be both beneficial and damaging to our health depending on pre-existing conditions and the extremes of weather that we are subjected to. The saying cold weather makes you sick is wrong. Studies looking at the transmission of colds found that people experiencing cold temperatures are no more likely to get sick than those who are in a warm environment. The increase in colds and flu at this time of year is most likely because cold, dry conditions are ideal for transmitting these viruses. The information that you will lose most of your body temperature from your head is incorrect. In cold weather, you lose heat from any uncovered part of your body, no more or less than from your head. Shoveling snow causes a heart attack. Shoveling snow is thought to increase your risk of heart attack. Cold temperatures cause your arteries to constrict, and this in turn increases the workload on your heart. Any physical activities conducted in cold weather will increase the demand on your heart further, especially if you have medical conditions such as high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or diabetes. When exercising in cold temperatures, wrap up warm and take frequent breaks. As can be seen, the cold weather, it can be both beneficial and harmful to our health, depending on the pre-existing conditions and the extreme weather conditions to which we are exposed. When our body gets cold, various mechanisms are activated that will increase its temperature. Our muscles and teeth Novemberable. Our feathers are sewn in a style that reflects the furry past of our ancestors. The hypothalamus gland, which functions as a thermostat in our brain by ensuring that these reactions are shown, at least until we find a shelter that will warm us. It tries to keep our vital organs warm. The task of the hypothalamus is to keep the central system of our body warm at all costs. If necessary, by removing the limbs at the ends out of sight, it does this by limiting the flow of blood there. This is why our fingers and toes feel tingling in extreme cold. Limiting blood flow can even cause tissue in these areas to freeze and break down. You might ask how other warm-blooded animals can live in extremely cold environments when people can't even cope with these conditions. Animals living at the poles have either fur that holds warm air or large layers of fat. Because fat does not pass heat well, it prevents body temperature from leaking out. With its bare skin and a relatively thin layer of fat, the human body is not suitable for living in extremely cold environments. But man has also developed the ability to imitate these features. Scientists at research centers in Antarctica, they adapt to the environment by dressing in layers as a method that insulates heat and acts as a fur coat. Remember, a person dies from the cold, not from the dark. Here we come to the end of our video, and if you like the video, don't forget to support it by liking and subscribing. See you in another video. Bye.